So what exactly is a short-term rental business? I mean, most people would say it's just, renting out a furnished place for a few nights. But what if I told you that simple idea is where so many new hosts get it all wrong? Let's dig into what it really is.
Right. So the common idea is that it's all about having a space and just throwing it up online. But hey, if you're thinking about launching your first property, or maybe you already have one, looking at it that way can lead to some pretty major headaches down the road.
Because here's the secret. A short-term rental isn't just a property. It's a machine with a bunch of moving parts, a complete business model. And truly getting that difference from day one, well, that's the absolute key to making it work.
All right, so let's start at square one. What's the basic definition we're all working from?
Okay, so at its heart, yeah, an STR is a furnished property for temporary stays. But the part of this definition that everyone seems to gloss over is prepared for repeat guest use. This doesn't just mean handing over the keys. Nope. It means this is an actively managed space that has to be spotless, fully stocked, and 100% ready for the next guest every single time.
And to make this crystal clear, let's see how an STR stacks up against other types of rentals. First up, let's talk about what it is not.
Over on the left, you've got your traditional long-term rental. A tenant moves in for months, maybe years, and your involvement is pretty minimal. But on the right, that's the short-term rental world. It's a whole different ballgame. Guests turn over constantly, communication is nonstop, and your pricing has to dance with demand. Every single stay is a brand new deal.
This chart really says it all, doesn't it? Just look at the level of management required. A long-term rental? That's a pretty passive investment. But an STR is an active, hands-on, roll-up-your-sleeves kind of business. It needs your constant attention.
Now, you might be thinking, okay, if it's so active and focused on guests, isn't this just a mini hotel? That's a fantastic question, but the answer is not quite.
A hotel usually offers a very standardized, cookie-cutter kind of experience. An STR, on the other hand, delivers something totally unique and private, with a kitchen, a living room, a real home-like feeling. It's this amazing blend of professional hospitality with the comfort you just can't get in a hotel.
So, if it's not just a simple listing, and it's not really a hotel, then what in the world is it? Well, it's a true hospitality business model, and it's built on a few really critical parts.
Your success is going to depend on these 4 pillars working together perfectly. Think of it like a 4-legged stool. You need the right property for your market, smart pricing that changes with demand, super smooth operations for cleaning and turnover, and a 5-star guest experience that brings in those glowing reviews. If one of those legs is weak, the whole thing just topples over. I want you to picture this for a second. 2 identical apartments, right next to each other in the same building. One is struggling, getting bad reviews, and barely making any money. The other one, it's thriving. 5-star ratings, tons of revenue. The only difference between them isn't the space, it's the execution. One is run like a real business, and the other one isn't.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? How does this business model apply to different kinds of places and people?
The real beauty of the STR model is just how flexible it is. It can be a city studio for someone on a business trip, a quiet cabin for a weekend escape, or a huge villa for a family vacation. The key isn't the type of property you have, it's finding that perfect sweet spot between your property, the market you're in, and the specific guest you're trying to attract.
People jump into this industry from all sorts of angles. You might be a property owner trying to get some income from a second home. You could be a property manager trying to build a big portfolio. Or maybe you're an investor looking for better returns. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter what door you come in. To succeed, you have to understand and use the exact same business model.
And that brings us to the bottom line, the real so what of all of this. Why does having this business mindset matter so much? Well, because getting it right from day one has a direct impact on your success. See, if you just see your property as a space to rent out, you're already going down a path that leads to problems and poor performance. That one little misunderstanding is the root cause of almost every common mistake new hosts make.
When you don't treat it like a business, you end up making these classic mistakes. You might pick the wrong property for your market, you rush the setup, or you just guess at your pricing. And then you're left scratching your head, wondering why your bookings are all over the place and the reviews are just meh. It all traces back to that initial mindset. But the moment you flip that switch and adopt a real business mindset, everything changes. You start asking much smarter questions, like, who is my perfect guest? What kind of experience do I want to create for them? How do my operations need to be set up to deliver that experience every time? This shift in thinking, that's the real foundation.
So, if you take only one thing away from this explainer, please let it be this. A short-term rental is a property-based hospitality business. Its success depends completely on the guest experience and how smoothly you run the show behind the scenes.
Remember, you're not just a host. You are building and running a complete business from the ground up. So before our next explainer, I want you to look at a short-term rental property. Maybe it's your own, maybe it's one you're just thinking about, and ask yourself this question. Are you just seeing the physical space, or are you starting to see the full business model working behind it? That shift in perspective is exactly what we're here to help you make.